Hello, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. Bienvenidos. Today's video is very near and dear to my heart, and it's a video all about my favorite foundations for oily skin. If you guys have been riding with me for a while, you know I do have oily skin, and you also know that I always do foundation reviews. So I'm constantly trying new foundations and seeing if they work for my skin and if they have the coverage that I like. And today I'm going to talk all about my favorite foundations that have medium to full coverage and that are good for oily skin. Since right now it is summertime, I've had all of these foundations on rotation, and I've really been able to test them to see if they do pass the oily skin test for me, and they have. So I'm only going to share with you the best of the best for me, the foundations that have worked for me. But let's just go ahead and jump into it. Not gonna go in any specific order, but I am first gonna talk about the two foundations that I feel like I always mention when I film videos like this, and it's the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless and the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. These two foundations have been holy grails for me ever since they came out. They're great options from the drugstore. They have a nice medium to full coverage, definitely buildable. You can apply them with a brush or with a sponge. Either way, you're gonna get amazing results. I personally like the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte a little bit more, just my preference, but they're both really good, and they've been riding with me ever since I got my hands on them and ever since they launched. The reason I'm talking about these two together is because I've talked about these a lot on my channel already, but I do have to build these up. They do have more of that demi matte finish. This one is a little bit more demi matte than this one. I think this one is just like a flat out matte finish, but they're both buildable, and I just love these two foundations. The one that I'm wearing on my face right now, and another drugstore one that has been a favorite of mine lately, is the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation. It's this one right here. This one pump for my entire face, and I'm good. This shade is 312. It is a little bit dark for me. I do have to kind of bring it down a notch whenever I put my concealer on, but I feel like the shade underneath this is too light. So sometimes I'll mix the two, but this is like the perfect summer shade for me. It's full coverage, it's matte, it's long lasting, it's everything that you need for a summer day, especially if you're gonna be wearing your makeup from morning to night. I've worn this foundation for hours on end, and it still looks really good. All you have to do is maybe blot a little bit. This one so far has been on the top of my list above these two other drugstore ones. Next up, these are all high end. This is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. I honestly was not expecting to like this foundation. I don't know why. I was just like, I don't think it's gonna be full coverage. I felt like it was gonna be a very light and dewy foundation. Maybe because of the packaging, it kind of looks like a BB cream to me. I don't know, but I was definitely wrong about it. It has a medium to full coverage. It lasts all day as well. It's very, very matte. It really gives you that flawless airbrush look, and it also looks really, really nice in photos. It lasts all day as well. This is another good one that I feel like would be nice for like an event if you're going to like a wedding or something. I don't know if I would recommend it if you're looking for something that looks really natural on the skin, because I do find that this is a little bit thicker and it's a little heavier. But if you do want more of that glam look, I would definitely give this one a try. And this is also nice with the Too Faced Hangover RX primer underneath. It's very hydrating, so if you do want to kind of get rid of that thicker feeling on the skin, then I would definitely try that primer underneath this foundation. The Cover FX Power Play Foundation. You put this on your face and is not going to budge. Once it's on, it's on. It is matte. It's not one of those demi matte finishes. I feel like this is just one of those other ones that's a flat matte finish, but you can bring it to life with like highlight and like by using cream products on top of it. This is one that I feel like I can wear to a lot of different kind of places. I can wear it if I'm gonna be out and about outside, or I can wear it to like an event as well. I like the way that it looks in photos too. It doesn't give me any flashback, and I don't know, it's just a good foundation. I just don't like the applicator. It's one of these like little squeeze out ones. I don't love that about it, but I can kind of work with it for, you know, what the product does. I do, however, recommend applying this with a brush more than a sponge. I find that my sponge shears this foundation out a lot. I don't know if it's just me, but that's just what I've realized with this foundation, so I prefer applying it with a brush. The Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Foundation. The name says it all. It's flawless, long wearing. It's also very matte. I sometimes find that this one's a little bit too matte for me, so I'll go underneath with a hydrating primer. But I like the coverage and the way that this looks in photography as well. And the fact that it lasts all day long. It really is very long wearing. When I had first tried this foundation, I was kind of iffy about it because, like I said, I thought it was a little bit too matte. And at first I was like, this is too drying. But then after using it with different primers underneath and even mixing this one with a liquid highlight is beautiful on the skin, both in the summertime and I'm sure, I can't even talk. Both in the summertime and I'm sure in the winter and fall months. And then lastly, the Fenty Beauty Pro Filtr Foundation. Ever since I tried this one, I knew I was gonna like use this constantly during the summertime. Right now, this is a perfect shade for me. It was a little bit darker for me when I first bought it, but now it matches really nice. Just like the other foundations that I mentioned, I like the coverage, I like the finish. It's another one of those foundations that I can just trust. I can put it on in the morning and I don't have to worry about constantly looking in the mirror or trying to blot because I know it's gonna look good after hours of wearing it. And you know what? Along with the Laura Mercier one and the Maybelline Superstay, these three are all foundations that I can mix with other ones. Mixing these with a really glowy foundation is gonna give you a very nice satin matte finish, especially because these are a lot more on the super matte side. So like I said, mixing it with a really glowy foundation, for me, it gives me that perfect semi-matte look that I like. And that's it. Those are all of my favorite foundations for oily skin. I tried to keep it short and sweet and to the point, and I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. In the comments, I want you guys to leave your favorite foundation recommendations for oily skin. I'm always trying new foundations, so any recommendations that you have, drop them in the comments section. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, los quiero mucho, and I will see you all in my next video.